This person is pointing out the news story, if you haven't heard it yet, that one of the people pardoned, one of the January 6th domestic terrorists pardoned by Donald Trump, was recently unalived by a police officer where he lives. Here's the story. Indiana man pardoned for Jan 6 crimes is killed in traffic stop shooting by deputy. Matthew Huddle, 42, pleaded guilty to entering the U.S. Capitol and was on supervised release before President Donald Trump pardoned him last week. An Indiana man who was recently pardoned for his participation in the Jan 6 Capitol riot was shot and killed during a traffic stop by a sheriff's deputy Sunday. Matthew Huddle, 42, was involved in a traffic stop at 4:15 p.m. by a Jasper County sheriff's deputy, authorities said in a news release. It alleged that Huddle resisted arrest and was found to have a firearm on him. An altercation took place between the suspect and the officer, which resulted in the officer firing his weapon and fatally wounding the suspect, the release said. Sheriff Patrick Williamson requested an investigation by Indiana State Police. The deputy was placed on paid administrative leave in accordance with deputy policy, Williamson said. Our condolences go out to the family of the deceased, as any loss of life is traumatic to those that were close to Mr. Huddle, Williamson said in a statement. I will release the officer's name once I have approval from state police detectives. No additional details were provided. Huddle was identified by the Jasper County coroner, who completed the autopsy Monday morning. Huddle was one of many people identified as having taken part in the riot at the Capitol on Jan 6th, in which hundreds of President Donald Trump supporters broke into the building in an attempt to stop the counting of electoral votes in the 2020 presidential election. Court records show that Huddle entered into an agreement with federal prosecutors in August of 2023, pleading guilty to a charge of entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds. He was sentenced in November 2023 to 6 months in federal prison, followed by 12 months of supervised release. That was rendered moot this month when Trump pardoned roughly 1,500 people who were involved in the Jan 6 riot last week after he was inaugurated. According to the complaint, Huddle was at the Capitol that day with his uncle, and investigators obtained videos uploaded to his own Google account of him there. He could be heard in one of the videos saying that a group of people were going to the Capitol and that he was going to see if we can get inside. He was identified on security video inside the building, including inside the Capitol's crypt, the complaint said. Huddle's uncle also agreed to a plea deal, court record showed, and was sentenced to 30 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. The complaint says he was identified on video assaulting officers with a flagpole on the steps of the Capitol. He was also pardoned. So, we have a piece of shit domestic terrorist who was part of the mob that attacked the Capitol building on January 6th, and his piece of shit domestic terrorist uncle, who were both convicted to some prison time and some supervised release. He was then pardoned. There was a traffic altercation in which it appears as if there was some type of physical altercation between him and the officer, and he was found to have a gun, and now he's no longer breathing. Can't say I'm shedding a tear.